It's now time for Winging It with Sonia and Liv.
Well, we're back for another Wednesday. How are you today?
Well, I think I just kind of went through it. I'm panicked about having to go to the Highlands, and I just heard from you that it is insanity.
Yes, my daughter said it's so gorgeous. She thinks everybody is just outside and just enjoying the last couple of days before Christmas is here. Now, our Christmas was this past Sunday.
Oh.
So as far as the kids know, they woke up, Santa came, and then he legitimately came to our house, and it's over. The sad part was, my mom and dad weren't there, and we're all still trying to wrap our head around, when you can and can't come to the house, and naturally it starts little families, spiffles,
squabbles.
I did enjoy Chad and the mayor's show last thing about
the trees. Yeah.
Well, I have been wanting to plant trees in my backyard, like on the other side of our sunroom, and the tree that's in our yard is actually like destroying our sidewalk, and we've looked at getting it replaced, and they said, well, unless you're going to take the tree out, you're serving no purpose, replacing the sidewalk. Well, if we took that tree out, we would have so much sunlight that we don't want. I know that's kind of negative, but we have a lot of places where we don't have dressings in our windows, like curtains and stuff like that, because of that tree. And it makes it nice.
Also, if you don't remove it correctly and remove the entire stump, which with an old tree is really hard, termites come.
Yeah. So, but that was a good show. I actually enjoyed listening to that. We participated earlier in the year when they did the trees, where you planted the trees throughout the city. And we did one at 35th, no, it's a lie. What's after 35th? 42nd Street ball field?
I don't know.
35th, and then, I don't know. But we planted a tree there.
You'd think it'd be 36, but it's not, I'm sure.
I know.
Well, it's several blocks down. It might be like 55th or 50. That doesn't even make sense. Pulaski, I think it's called, though. I don't know, but yeah, so it's the holiday spirit. Hello, Olivia.
Hi.
I just said hello. I said, I actually haven't even talked to Olivia yet today.
No, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. So yesterday, I shared an article to the Capitol Theater page. And if you looked at it yesterday and you go back to our page today, it's deleted. We got some good news as Congress broke out with some information on theaters and venues and
Possibly some relief.
possibly for some relief. The theater has been shut down since March, I think 9th was our last event at the Capitol. And it probably will be shut down the majority of 2021. Do you know what I mean? Like we might look at June, July. It's hard to tell. It's a curse.
And those are usually slower months for us anyways because of outdoor venues and things like that.
Yeah, that's when they're prospering. But a lot of people are upset because they took it as I'm boasting that, our theater is getting all this money. Well, in reality, the way it all plays out, there's another link that, it shows we might get $100,000. We don't buy shows, we rent. And we don't ticket the church with paid admission. So what it just passed, it might not make us rich, so to say, but we still have to pay utilities every month. You know what I mean? Like that's an old
The building is still there.
I mean, I want to tell you that
paying bills on it.
I want to tell you that building might be 7 to 8 floors.
It's 7.
A lot of people don't realize how big the building is in itself, but we got a lot of backlash on that post, and I just want to apologize to everybody because it's not how I meant for it to come off was to boast. I know a lot of families are only getting $600, you know what I mean, for like a single mom or however that works.
Well, but
I'm not the one who...
The Capitol Theater is a small business. We are located
in
Wheeling, West Virginia. It is owned by the Wheeling Convention and Visitors Bureau, which is 100% funded by a hotel motel bed tax and managed by the West Banco Arena.
Yeah, it is. But
all of those people are not prospering right now.
Yes, and we have a lot of people laid off. And the trickle effect of when we have an event, a Broadway show,
are the businesses.
Is the businesses that they serve, the hotels, the restaurants, where the restaurants buy their food, the people parking at the parking garage. And that's, I can't wait till the hustle and bustle for everybody is back. You know, you might see it in the malls right now, but you don't see the live shows at the bars. Do you know what I mean? Like where you go and you gather amongst friends and, you know, tonight everybody in my family would be getting together to go to the B.E. Taylor concert. You know what I mean? You know, typically December 23rd was the date for that. You know, we'd go out to dinner, we'd go to the show, you know, a lot of people I know would go, you know, to Bob Evans type for pie or, you know what I mean, like after and coffee. You know, so that's just kind of like, it's kind of hope, I guess. You know what I mean? I have been like so stressed out for the past, 9 months that, you know, this building may not open again. It may go back in the dark. You know, there's only so much you can do and not with an unknown future.
Right.
So that's not, you know, that wasn't what the post was for. It was just kind of
And the longer
to say, hey.
and the longer things are like shut down, even if tomorrow, by chance, a miracle would happen, and they'd say, you can have shows again. How many people have the extra income right now with everything that's been going on to pay to go to a show? And not to mention, like, let's just face it, we've all been living in so much dark. It would be very weird to be like, okay, let's go.
I know.
You know,
I
like
know.
everybody was going to have, there's going to be that transition time that people just still are at, like, wondering about, you know, what ifs and, you know, whatever, you know, whenever, and who knows? I mean, it's awful, but I'm sorry you had to go through that because.
I didn't really go through it. I just felt, I don't know how to word it. I just felt like I disappointed a lot of people from sharing that post. And a lot of people don't know that I'm the poster. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like I'm under, you know, I'm behind a wall, I guess.
I mean, but we have to really kind of understand, too, 10 years ago, when the Capitol Theater was dark, this town was very dark. There wasn't the events that you saw. There wasn't the businesses that was going on. The Bridge Tavern wasn't the business that it was now. You know what I mean? So as the theater prospered, our town lit up. You know what I mean? Like it re-energized it. I mean, this is my personal opinion, but I do think it re-energized a lot of our downtown again, and opened up a lot of doors for businesses because they knew there would be some consistent programming.
Stop and think how many small restaurants have now opened in the
Yes.
last, even say 5 or 6 years.
Oh, absolutely.
That would not have if there hadn't been this burst of growth
Right.
back when the Capitol opened.
So I do think
Oh,
the
and
Capitol
especially-
Theater is a catalyst for business. So
Even the health plan, Williams-Lee.
the health plan, 100%.
You know, I mean,
Mr.
all those.
Pennington said it. It was one of the things that got him interested in Wheeling again. He saw the energy happening. Now that's dark. And, you know, a lot of businesses that help make it happen, like the arena and the CVB, are going dark as well. So everybody's got to think of that. It's not a way of boasting that we're getting money. It's almost like, thank gosh, a cry for help has finally been answered, because there's no other avenues for hospitality, tourism, and entertainment. There really isn't. You're not going to have a fundraiser tomorrow to raise a bunch of money for services that you cannot provide.
Right.
You know, I mean, we're used to like entertaining people. We're used to being in hospitality and showing people a good time. We're unable to do that in a capacity that people are yearning for right now. So we need help too.
Well,
and
I'm
I think that it's good that we are going to finally get it.
I'm sure your revenues have really gone down. I know where my sister
revenue
works.
stream has gone down almost 95%.
I know.
I'm
They're
very
lucky
fortunate to have a job.
10 or 15 rooms a night, and
Yeah.
that's a lot.
You know,
So
and it's especially for you know, hotels that don't offer a lot of amenities and can't do the amenities that they offer. I mean, like even their continental breakfast and things are something that people
Yeah.
like to travel and have, and now that's not a possibility.
that's right.
You can get that continental breakfast at the Spring Hill Suites in Wheeling, West Virginia on National Road.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But you know, unless the property had a bunch of money to make these guideline changes.
Yeah, you have to pivot.
You had to pivot, and a lot of those are bigger chains. Then you know they are still struggling. You know, and my revenue struggles from it too. And I'm very fortunate for my boss, Frank. And you know, we've had to halt a lot of marketing, but we pivoted and we are investing in things that I think will be better for next year.
Yeah, the whole world, pivot. It's everyone's
I know.
saying it now, pivot. Well, we have a special guest,
Are you coming in? I'll get him.
maybe in a second. All the way from North Pole, we'd like to welcome back Santa.
Santa Claus.
ho.
Oh, ho, 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 Merry
My
Christmas.
favorite ladies. How are you?
Oh, we're trying, Santa.
Well, it's good. I am so excited today because today I go back to the North Pole.
It's the day,
After
Santa.
this evening, I have some more visits yet today.
Yes.
But then I'm going back, and I am so fortunate. If you go to the Pittsburgh airport, you see a red limousine. That will be me. And
Jeez.
there's a couple of short guys driving that thing. So,
Oh, I bet they're adorable,
You have
too.
to be careful.
I did see my first red limousine today.
Oh, you did? Well, that's probably mine. They were just probably.
Did you see that, Lola? It was right
Going
across the
around
street
town.
when you came in.
No.
Well, what do you expect? Would Santa be in any other thing but a red limousine?
I've never seen a red limousine. That's so amazing that you
Well,
saw it.
well.
He's talking about it.
See,
I thought it was his.
It's the
that's-
magic
and
of
you were-
Christmas.
And you were right. It was mine.
It's the magic
it's,
of Christmas.
It's a very exciting time for me. So, a lot of preparations, and I have a young man who's grown up to be very successful, and I'll be taking a private jet to Alaska. And then the boys will fly down in the sleigh from the North Pole for a little trial run, pick me up. In a few minutes, we'll be there.
Santa, you got the life, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty
He's a hard
fun.
worker this time of year.
Did anybody?
I am.
Did anybody see the Christmas star?
No, it was really cloudy at my
Well,
house.
it was very
Right.
cloudy here, but certainly all over the world it was exciting, and I did see
I've
some
seen wonderful pictures.
Yes, wonderful pictures.
Google, share.
Very, very exciting. So, hey, I really enjoyed visiting your families.
Yes, yes.
You know, Cece is quite the,
Rotten girl.
no, well, she's just fun-loving. I was concerned, though, that sledding down the hill in that snow, they were going to run into the house, you know.
They did a few times.
That's why I was kind of a sentinel. I had my Santa. They didn't know I was watching in that Santa outside that lights up.
I'm telling you what, snow brought a wonderful joy to our home and just some togetherness that we haven't had in a while. The
It-
girls played so well together outside, and it was necessary.
It was good. And then I got to see Preston and Peyton and Brex and Max, and of course Keith,
Yeah.
who, you know, I have favorites. He's quite the young man. So
he's a character.
we had a good time with him.
Oh, shoot, I forgot their gifts.
Keith is one of a kind, Santa.
He
and
really is, isn't he?
I had shared with you, he loves snow. It doesn't matter where the snow's at, if it's clean, if it's dirty.
Does he eat it?
Olivia, I don't mean eat it.
Yeah.
He chose snow over breakfast.
Yeah, I get it. Have you ever made him snow ice cream?
Huh? No, I have not.
You should.
I don't even think I have an opportunity to because he's just out there.
Licking.
And I cautioned him about before he eats that snow, he should look at things, right?
Especially in Woodsdale.
Yes.
Walking their dogs.
I mean, all kind of
We
things,
live
you
on
know.
a corner.
He got snow off our car the other day that was extremely dirty, and I
Oh,
wanted to.
my.
I'm like, "Can you stop?" He goes, "It's okay," and I'm just like, "It is not. I promise you, it's not okay."
Yeah, it was really special. There have been some very interesting visits this year. I am still having a hard time. Some people are still not sure if Santa's coming.
Oh.
So I wanted to stop by today just to reassure everybody that indeed I'm, coming for Christmas.
You're bringing
Now
magic.
I have found some boys and girls who haven't been behaving very well.
Oh no!
I know.
So, yeah, and so I've told them, now there's only a day before I get in the sleigh. So they have last-minute opportunities to really get right. And when I see some boys and girls this afternoon, I will remind them again that that's exactly what has to happen. And it's surprising. When I ask that question, well, has there been any fighting? Their eyes just light up and they kind of go look at each other. And one little boy said, "Well, what do you mean by fighting?" And I said, "Well, here's what happens." And so it's been very, very interesting. And I've heard some tremendous tales about the elves this year. And today is so warm. I've been telling the boys and girls, like last week it was very warm. I said, "You'll find them in the refrigerator."
Yeah, ours was outside.
Because that's exactly where they go when it gets so hot out. But I've been telling everybody it's going to be mighty cold on Christmas Day. And then Rudolph will be leading this, the sleigh here in the Ohio Valley and about the whole eastern United States because it's going to be cloudy and snowy. and windy, and I'll be wearing my special space-tested insulated suit this year. So I am excited.
So you don't use the hand warmers no more. You've gone.
Well, I
straight to-
mean, this is 2020, and so
exactly.
we've updated a little bit there. So,
Yeah.
but sometimes we do the old-fashioned stuff. It's fun to go ahead and do that. I think I heard you talking about how good people have been to try to help the less advantaged this time of year. And I talked to the boys and girls about that, and that's so important. I actually stopped and saw Reverend Cummings this morning and congratulated him on a great job he had done. And the elves even took up a little fund in their hard-earned money and sent something down to him because I heard he had vanquished his credit card account, and he need to have it replenished. So we
how
helped,
nice.
and we encourage everybody to do exactly that for him.
That's right. Reverend Cummings sure does have a way of getting everybody into no matter what, time of the year it is or, someone's in need. He definitely can round the
Rally.
troops.
Yeah, he can
Absolutely.
And he has this habit of when something good or you say something nice to him, he crosses his arms and it's kind of bless your heart
Yeah.
for saying that to me. And that was pretty unique. I may have to
It's
start
his, that's
incorporating
his virtual
that.
hug.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I was telling him it was very hard on Santa this year because I just couldn't hug people.
We were actually at the Good Zoo last night.
Ah,
And we walked over to the Santa workshop, but there was quite a line, and we knew that we'd see you again this evening and today and things. So
Yeah.
we just was like, let's go watch the light show again. That's the first thing Willie said. I won't touch Santa. I was like,
well,
I know.
there was quite a line last night.
There was.
I was there for 2.5 hours.
We got there fairly early. Now, the light traffic was pretty big getting in there, and of course we were like, oh no, I wonder how crowded it's going to be. But the zoo had nice, ample space, but there was a line at the workshop. But it's a beautiful night.
I've seen a lot of people, even myself, have talked about this is probably the most traffic for the lights I've seen in years.
I was shocked.
A 30% increase over previous years.
Yeah.
My elf, Andy, has told me
Yeah.
that it was. And I think people just want to be safe.
Absolutely. I came home, it was last Saturday after the hockey game, and the line was all the way back to the temple at the bottom of 88 at 10:30 at night.
Yes, it was. And
I was blown away.
Santa leaves and goes, to one of his safe
Yeah.
houses and stuff. Thank goodness that I put my arm out there and wave when they see my robes and stuff,
Yeah.
and they say, "Oh, Santa, we gotta." And then I just wave at everybody all the way down the hill.
Yeah.
And I hear Santa, Santa, and horns tooting, and it does my heart good,
I saw a woman get out at the convenience there at the bottom of the hill, because I went down Pogue's Run and stuff. And she got out, got a bunch of snacks, and went back to her car. Probably because she had a car full of kids. And they did not move the whole time she was down there, because I was waiting like 5 cars back and saw her walking out. So
And I actually saw a couple of my elves get out of their cars and walk in front of the automobiles just to enjoy themselves. I don't know if they were going and greeting folks. And I would have stopped and said hello to everybody, but I believe I would have had a traffic jam
yeah.
in the opposite direction. And
Yeah.
I had the occasion to come in after another visit in Cameron, and I had to come in the back way on Waddell's Run Road.
Yeah.
And everybody is going one way to see the lights, and Santa is going the other way. And I almost ran through the gate with the thing down because their lights were so bright in my face, I almost couldn't see them.
Oh, my goodness.
But it was quite something, but they did let me get by.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was appreciative. And I saw people from all over. They come from Pittsburgh and Cleveland
Yeah, it's been
and
nice.
Columbus and, of course, the Ohio Valley. And as you well know, you promote the lights and the tourism. And I think it's been a really good year at Ogilvy. So
It has been.
they may ask me to come back again. And, I enjoy coming to the Ohio Valley. Hey, I wanted to give a big shout out to all the semi-drivers. You may not know this, but we have been positioning toys all over the world this last week. So I have bags of toys that I gather as I go from country to country and stop at special places, and they refill my sack. So the semi-drivers have been taking toys and positioning in these special warehouses.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank them because they have done just a marvelous job.
Yes, I've been thanking them as they come to my porch daily.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a lot of
Gave
activity.
some fresh baked cookies to my FedEx guy yesterday.
Oh, man, and you should because they are working very, very hard.
Yeah, he's
That's
a sweet young
amazing.
kid. He was like, oh, thank you.
Well, here's my Santa tip of the day for anybody who is fortunate enough to get their children the PS5.
Oh, my.
A lot of people don't know that the common TV does not.
Handle it. Yeah, I've heard you had to have the
It
adapter or
doesn't.
something.
It doesn't. Yeah, it could be almost $1,000 upgrade after you buy a PS5 to get the proper TV and wiring. So make sure that if you blessed your children with this, you have read the box.
Well,
Is this what you blessed Chris with?
those great gifts are, PS5 is kind of almost beyond the pale. I know, Olivia, you talk to your children and say, we only make so many of those, and
Yeah.
and then we try to go to the stores and get them. But it's just incredible that people so young want PS5s, and that's very difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we can substitute some oranges and apples for a PS5.
Yeah, I would actually
yeah.
love an orange.
Me too. Doesn't that sound good?
It
Yeah,
does sound good.
Right now?
Just to smell it.
That's
Yeah.
what St.
I have
Nicholas
some oranges
did.
too.
I wanted to give a shout out to the Hollywood people who did Christmas Chronicles 2 because
Oh my gosh.
they did reflect the St. Nicholas story,
Yes.
so when I was young and started this whole process. And so it's wonderful to see that recognition in regards to St. Nicholas. Now, I told them I do not have the Bethlehem star.
Or the
know.
white cat.
Or
Willie
the
was
white cat.
really
I mean,
asking
I
where his
did.
white cat was.
Yeah, I wanted to add, where is the Yule cat?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I really don't have a Yule cat, so.
That is a great Christmas movie, though.
Yeah, I thought it was great, and enjoyed it.
Normally, there's not that many new Christmas movies that have traditions involved. They're more about the comedy or like the new age way. You know what I mean?
And
the
Santa
family
doesn't.
dysfunction.
Santa doesn't watch those. I mean, I
Yeah.
never have watched the bad Santa. That would be against
haven't either.
against my whole sensitivity.
But National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation all
That's
day long.
hilarious.
Yes.
Well, Keith watched Claus, and he's allergic to peanut butter, so Keith has a real problem with us with the peanut butter cookies we've made.
Yes.
He wants to throw them all away.
Oh
I
my.
didn't know Keith was allergic to peanut
No,
butter.
Claus is.
Oh.
Well,
he's lactose
most people
intolerant.
don't ask me, and I will tell you,
I was like, I didn't know Keith was.
if you are hankering for some chocolate milk, you better go buy it now. Because I have talked to all these boys and girls and let them know that I love chocolate milk. So I think there will be a run on the stores the next couple of days getting chocolate milk. And there's going to be more chocolate milk drunk this year by Santa Claus than ever in history.
Well, actually, I tried to make oatmeal raisin cookies last night.
Oh,
because you
my.
mentioned them so
Yes.
many times. I didn't have any raisins, and I couldn't get any on a pickup or run out in time because it was like 10:30 when I was like, I need to make some oatmeal raisin cookies for Santa.
Yes.
Those are the
Yeah.
best.
Those are my favorite.
Those
There
are my
a lot of
favorite, too.
people-
I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of people are like those, and I'm like,
You know what I like in mine? Coconut.
Oh,
yeah.
that would
Coconut
make them
flakes,
really
yeah.
special.
yeah.
I wanted to share too, I mean, every year, it's interesting to me the names of the boys and girls that I get. And I got a real sense this year that the names are kind of back to normal. We have, and some of the popular names, Levi was the most popular boy's name.
Yeah.
And so it's been interesting. Wyatt was very strong too, and then I had one family, there was a Wyatt and a Kit, and I said, did somebody love Westerns when they were young, for Wyatt Earp and Kit Carson, and, I thought that was interesting. And for girls, I mean, Stella is a pretty
I love
big
the name
name
Stella.
again, and I know a lot of boys and girls in the, back in the 30s where they're named, were Stella or 20s, and so that's been interesting. Audrey's been pretty good this year. Genevieve, I've been surprised at that. Addie, of course, for Adeline, is still just a very, very big name. So, and of course, there is that alliteration. Everybody in the family, if there are three, all begins with A or
Yeah.
all begins with C or K, and that makes for some very, very interesting combinations. So.
My mom and she had 6 siblings with her, and they were all D names.
My dad's family's all D names, too.
Yeah.
No, it was.
Like, you don't think of that when, like, you think it's normal until somebody's like, what's their names? And you write them off, like Denny, Donna, Debbie, Deanna.
I really thought the wisdom was if you had a long last name to choose a short first name because it's easier for them to say. So if you had a short last name, you can choose a lot of a longer name somehow. So
It's funny because Olivia and Noah are the top names and like
Well, I think
baby
we-
names. And my husband's name's Noah and I'm Olivia. So we used to go to Toys R Us and that's all we'd hear. Olivia, Noah. And we'd be like, us? No.
yeah, and I think those names are still very popular too. So it's been always very interesting. And I don't know if you need to take a break or anything, but I'll tell you about some of the elf stories.
Well, yeah, we can probably take
All
a
right.
break and we'll come
Well,
back
we're
to
going
that.
to take a break. Please support the sponsors that support the station. You're listening to Santa on the Watchdog.
It's that time of year again where you need to get your packages out to your loved ones just